You know how on my channel, family, I love to, show the black businesses. So we're going to keep in alignment with that, the black business spotlight. I got a black owned business, that I want to touch on and talk about how I normally do when I go live, talk about these black owned businesses, FBA business out there in Chicago by the name of Monday Coffee, I believe. Because Monday is looked at that day of the week that nobody really wants to start. They laggish when they started, rolling out of bed. And, most people don't want to see Monday, not that are, doing the 9 to 5 work thing, truth be told. But, this Monday Coffee makes it, stylish, on Mondays, and they just changing the whole vibration of the Monday, and bringing new energy to the word Monday. So I got the audio and the video of this, so we're going to talk about it, family. Fair use. Turn that down so they don't try to copyright me.
We meet a Southside native whose give it a try spirit is as infectious as her laugh. As Joe Donlin shows us, Amanda Harth is one determined entrepreneur.
The sizzle, the aroma, and oh, the taste. But you'll find more than a cup of Joe at Monday Coffee in North Lawndale. You'll find community.
This space is designed for anyone that wants to come in. If you just want to rest, read a book, it's great. For years, coffee has always been a thing.
I like how they community orientated with this business. They said if you just want to come in and have a safe space, a place to relax, so on and so forth, they'll provide that.
And that have, brought people together to start their businesses, to meet a friend, to go on a first date. Like that seems like a safe sort of social thing to do.
Amanda Harth and her business partner.
I agree with the sister on that. Coffee does bring people together from many facets of life. Everybody can agree on a good cup of coffee. I know I can. I'm drinking coffee, every morning. That's how I get my day started, truth be told.
Felton Kaiser created their coffee business as a pandemic project. The beginnings were humble.
Felton and I, we started making cold brew in his mom's kitchen. We went online October 26, 2020. And sold out the first week and had a pop-up in Chicago and sold out that Friday. For whatever reason, this just took off.
And it landed here at Starling, a place where people can celebrate, meet, and enjoy Monday coffee. There's a book corner, chess club on Tuesdays, and a cool, cozy vibe.
We knew everything was going to look great. We have good taste. We know how things should look. We had to learn how they should taste. And thank God they taste.
I love to see FBA brothers and sisters winning and owning their own business and controlling their narrative. This is why I'm always putting out these black business spotlights, truth be told.
Right now, we're very transparent about our process. Like you can see what's happening behind the bar. We roast here at the cafe. The big thing about Monday Coffee is we never really wanted to do the traditional coffee route.
Amanda's route to success has been anything but traditional. Growing up in the Pullman neighborhood, she loved music, fashion, and art. And then
I have a love for animals. And originally I thought I was going to be out there on a farm with the animals, but I didn't want to be out there smelling like the animals. So I ended up studying food science and learning about food and didn't really think I was going to do anything with it. You ever made a quote before, Joe?
I've not. I first met Amanda about 2 years ago at the artist workspace Compound Yellow in Oak Park. She taught me a thing or two about another one of her loves, denim.
For me, it's a lot of history that's tied to it. Indigo technically found its way to America during the transatlantic slave trade.
Amanda's even hosted events.
You can hear about that, sister, just in her talking that she got a black awareness to life. I love that. And, I love black folks, doing for themselves, and owning their own businesses where they can control their own narrative. Because a lot of the times, we got to work for these companies, but in working for these companies, they put a cap on you as, to the earnings you can make. But as you own your own business, on the other hand, if you got the wherewithal and the drive to, really get at a dollar, to really get your money, it ain't no ceiling placed on you. You can, make endless amounts of money, truth be told.
where other denim lovers can meet up and talk all things indigo. She turns denim into art. Here's some of her work at the Hotel Emily in Fulton Market.
It's not as sweet and poppy.
In her spare time, Amanda's even developed her own fragrance line called Universe of Hearth. But entrepreneurship hasn't been easy.
Being a woman, being a Black woman, that's a part of it. Is you don't get too many shots. So you have to do your best to stay consistent and ask for help. When you need it, there's nothing wrong with that. I just started asking for help, and let me tell you,
I think it's a big misnomer around, like, doing things for self. They, like to make it seem that people that are already successful, that, you can do things by yourself, and, all you gotta, have is the willingness to do it. That's one component of it. But me, I say that you need a team around you, because nobody goes on to do, great, phenomenal things, most of the time that's not done, absolutely by yourself. You need a team around you with the same drive and the same goals, people working in different areas, that are, got the same goal in mind. At the end of the day, y'all sit down as a collective, with the same driving force to push them goals forward, because it's a big misnomer around, all you need to become successful is, just yourself and a vision, well, that is true. Some cases that works, but, oftentimes, that's just, not the real way things happen. You need a good, strong team around you with like-minded people that'll push you forward, because some days you might not have the drive, and you can lean on one of your brothers and sisters, to push you forward that particular day. So it's just, you need a team around you. But I'm gonna say a good team, because you don't want, on the other hand, you can have a team around you that's not, adding, to you cultivating your life, that could just be bringing you down. So it's all about having the right people, implemented in your life, to do what you want to do. But you can do it by yourself, but it's just much easier when you have that right team.
I get more sleep now. I am more stable financially because I asked for help, because it's also learning that you can't do it all, and that's okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
As for the name, we had to ask, where did Monday Coffee come from?
We wanted to kind of change the culture of how people experience Mondays. It's usually a lot of people's least favorite day of the week. For us, we kind of see it as an opportunity to start your week off strong.
It's clear one of Amanda's strengths is her let's give it a try attitude.
For me, that's a part of being an artist. It's good and it's bad, but it's also a big part of entrepreneurship. You can't be afraid to try things and fail. I'm learning that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because so far, it's brought me here. So I think I'm on the right track.
Yeah, salute to this sister. And her business is called Monday Coffee out there in Chicago. But side note, family.